Your life is in danger. You live on a planet that is dying. The ecology that provides the conditions for your survival is almost destroyed and continues to be destroyed at a catastrophic rate. But the truth is that this cannot be stopped in the current consumerist format of society. The format of lies, cruelty, and absurdity. Do you want to change that? Then let's take an honest look at what is happening now. We are massively destroying the forest for timber, cutting down centuries-old tropical forest to plant coffee, cocoa, and soybeans because they are well paid for. We are recklessly clearing land for grazing, gold mining, and destroying the forest for so-called green energy. We have lost as many forests in the last 100 years as we did in the previous 9,000 years. The forest gives us oxygen, mitigates the effects of climate change, protects the soil from erosion, and preserves biodiversity. Where the forest disappears, all life dies. But in the consumerist format, we can't give up logging because the forest industry implies millions of jobs. Countries' budgets depend on it. It turns out that in order to survive, we must destroy what gives us life. The consumer society is a society of absurdity. Today, there is not even a single well-functioning system for environmental monitoring in the world. Its absence allows almost uncontrolled dumping of toxic waste into the environment. For example, 80% of the world's wastewater is returned to the environment untreated. More than 2 billion people are forced to use a source of drinking water contaminated with feces. Even in a highly developed country like the United States, tap water of every state contains impurities of hazardous substances such as arsenic, copper, and lead. The amount of fines for environmental violations is far less than the cost of environmentally friendly technology. The money from the fines goes into the state budget. At best, they are allocated to eliminate the consequences, but the cause still remains. And why eliminate it? We can continue to fine and sell emission quotas and licenses. As long as one can make money on this, the problem will never be solved. They just throw dust in our eyes, creating the illusion of an active fight against environmental pollution. The consumer society is a society of lies. Only 0.3% of all the water on the planet is available to people as fresh water. It is a single resource that belongs to all people. Now, 1 in 3 people does not have access to clean drinking water. To solve the water shortage problem in the 140 countries where it is particularly needed, $114 billion a year is required. Is it a lot? Just to compare, the global annual military budget for 2020 was $1,930 billion. That is, if we give up spending on the war for just 1 year, we can provide clean drinking water for all of these countries for almost 2 decades to come. In a consumer society, fostering hostility and fear is more important than caring for one's neighbor and future generations. Consumer society is a format of inhumanity. Another serious problem of our time is that there are no accessible and safe technologies for waste disposal. Our planet has become a giant landfill. For example, less than 10% of plastic is recycled. The rest we just throw away. Entire garbage islands have already been formed in the ocean. Microplastics have been found in the ice in Antarctica in 83% of tap water samples, and even in mothers' placentas. But it's a poison that contaminates people and nature. At the same time, the production of plastics is constantly growing. The volume of the global plastics market in 2020 was about $580 billion. Another paradox of the consumerist format. We are destroying nature and ourselves for money. Only in a consumer society can one make billions of dollars selling poisonous substances. The largest pesticide manufacturers in the world derive over 1/3 of their income from the sale of products that are a serious threat to the environment and human health, causing mutations in the body, cancer, and reproductive disorders. Because of the proven harm, most of these harmful substances are banned from use in developed countries. But in order not to lose profits, manufacturers continue to sell them to third world countries, ignoring the fact that we all live on the same planet. And air masses and sea currents do not respect political boundaries. In the consumerist format, financial interests take precedence over human life.
Anytime any of us publish a paper saying chemical X is bad, the chemical company comes after us. And they can be quite vicious. So it is a struggle sometimes for scientists to advocate or say something in a public forum out of fear, because the intimidation is real. And most scientists, we don't make a lot of money. We're not getting rich doing this, we're barely hanging on. But these companies have huge amounts of resources. And if they want to come after you, they'll come after you. I mean, the glyphosate story is really illustrative of that. They went after journalists, they went after scientists. So I commend all the scientists who speak at a forum like that, because I'm sure they're all experiencing tremendous challenge. And in some countries, they may even be risking their life, like some journalists are. So I can imagine the emotions are quite high when talking about some of these high stakes things. We're in a moment of I don't even know what we're in the middle of. Misinformation, complete untruth.
In a society ruled by money and power, where real scientists cannot speak honestly about big problems, we will never know the truth. In such a society, it is impossible to implement technology which can solve environmental problems, and that means we are doomed. To save your life and life on the planet, it is necessary to build the creative society, a safe, fair, sensible society in which the main value is the life of every person. Obviously, the creative society is our only chance. By informing about the creative society, you save the planet. Tell everyone about this. Thanks to you, the truth will spread all over the world. And when all people learn about the Creative Society, by joining together, we will build it very quickly. What is impossible for one is possible for all of us together. Take action to save lives.